Okay, so I have shared the notebook with you. What we are going to do, we are going to mount the data from Google Drive, or rather, we can say that we are going to mount Google Drive. Now, why we want to do that? Because when we have data in Collab, it is with Collab actually you have to mount it, and that is where I would like you guys to mount it also. Okay, so whenever you attempt anything on Collab, you can mount the drive if you are reading any CSV or any image or anything, any other file. Okay. Now what happens actually when we load the file here, we upload the file here. Yeah. Okay. It goes the moment it is your notebook is disconnected. Okay. Or even after some time it will go. So it won't be it won't be there with you. Next time again you have to load and you have to do that the codings and all. You have to run everything again. So even if you save something, it won't be there unless you download it. Okay. Or in the moment you can say that runtime is reconnected or reset, you can say everything in your content folder. This is a content folder. Okay, this is where this is called a content folder. The moment we everything is reconnected or your runtime is reconnected. Okay, restarted, reconnected, whatever you can say that your content folder where you have put your files will go. Okay, this you must have seen already. So the solution to it is that you mount your Google Drive and you put your data in the Google Drive. So I'll just mount it for you. And Google Drive you can open because since you're already logged into your Collab, that is Google Collab. So that means you have already logged into your Google account. Okay. So if you have already logged into your Google account, your Google Drive will always be active. And whatever we are writing here, the codes you are writing will also be saved in the drive only. So they are already there. So what you have to do is you open your Google Drive and then create a folder where you can put your data sets. Okay. So I'll just show you. Google Drive you all know, so I don't think it is required to be shown, but if you want I can show you that also. I'll just let me first mount it and then I'll show you with an example where I'll be uploading some data. Okay, so let me find that also, but let's first see how we are going to mount it. Okay, so it's very simple. Mounting is very easy, nothing like any rocket science. You just have to call the drive from Google Colab. Okay, so from Google.Colab import drive. So okay, from Google.Colab import drive. So once you have imported it, now you have to just mount it. Drive dot mount. Where you want to mount it, you have to mount it in the content drive. You can have content folder, and you can have G drive. Suppose I'll put it there. You can just put it anywhere else. So we'll see that. Now let's see. I'll run it, and no, I can't run it. I'll have to actually share everything with you. Otherwise, you won't be able to see the pop-up screen. So let me stop the sharing and share the entire screen with you. Okay, so you won't be able to see. That's why I have to share the entire desktop with you. Okay, so now I'm sharing the entire thing. Okay, now come here. Now from Google.Colab, import drive.mount, content G drive or whatever you want to. I'll just do that. And I'll show you the drive also. Now, it says that permit this notebook to access your Google Drive files. Either you say no, thanks, or connect to Google Drive. You have to click here connect to Google Drive. Connect on that, click, then choose the account. It is already logged in, so I just have to click on it, and then you have to just allow. Okay, so it will give you the various things here. You just have to say allow. Once it is allowed, the drive will be mounted. No, it is giving me some mount point must be in a directory that exists, so it may not be there. Content G drive, it may not be there. Let me check. Okay, so G drive, I'll have to open it. I'll have to open google.com. If it is not there, it is going to show me an error. So I have to open the Google Drive, which is there, and the account is already logged in. And it happens sometimes that you're not logged into some other, you're not logged in, or you're logged into some other folder. So it is there, it is very much there. I have to, this is the drive only. Yeah, this is G drive only. Google.com drive, that's fine, perfectly fine. So this is G drive only, so it should not give me an issue. Let me see. My drive, you have to give the name of this actually, so it is G drive only. It should not give me an error. Let me check the settings. Nothing here. Okay, let me 1 minute. It should be here only. It says that mount point must be in a directory that exists. So from where you're mounting, that should be there. So let me 1 minute stop it, and then let me share it again. It should not give any error because I've already used it so many times, but maybe because of some typo errors, or maybe because the drive is not active or something, it may happen. So that's okay, doesn't matter. I'll check it and see what happened. It's better to have some errors than anything else. So it should not give me an error actually, because it just went to the drive and just it was looking for the content. And drive is G drive only. Let me type again. Drive.mount content and G drive is G drive only. Let me see. Open notebook. Google Drive. There you are. Yeah. I want to get the path of this. I can view in Google Drive. I can view it on Google Drive also. So anyway, doesn't matter. Let me run it again and try. It should not give me an error. It is already, I have already given the permission. Okay. So it will not give me any error now. It will not ask me actually. Yeah, it is mounted. So there was some issue, I think, that time. Either it was not logged in or it was not open maybe. So I just opened my Google Drive, and now it is working fine, and you don't need that, no, the content, sorry, the permission. Okay, you can see G drive. This is G drive, that is the Google Drive, and you can just see that there are two drives there which were already there on Google Drive, my drive and the other computers. Now click on this and you will have all the folders here. See, all the folders are here, and folders, subfolders, everything will be loaded. I have some images here for purpose, and I'll show you. This is for research only. Potato dataset. We have the leaves with early blight, with the diseases actually, the late blight and the healthy plants. For training set, testing set, and validation set, deep learning can be applied, or we can use machine learning on this data set. But how we are going to read and display the images, we can see that also. So the first thing, as we have done earlier, so from google.colab, import drive.mount. You have to give G drive, and then you just have to run it, and it will be loaded. If it doesn't work, you can simply open your Google Drive and see if it is logged in or not, and it should work. Okay, and you can get the path also. It is always G drive only, so it should not be an issue at all. Okay, so let's have the data, and let's see if we can access the data from this folder, potato folder, and display what is the content of the folder. So you can, if you're using a PyCharm or any other ID, you don't have to mount. Okay, just keep in mind the other things will remain same, but you don't have to mount. That's all the change would be. So let's see. Okay, so we have already uploaded, and we are going to import operating system. Then from OS, we have to open the drive. Okay, import list directory. I normally check if there's some issue. Then folder directory will be equal to. I have to change check that that is it is in content and reader, that I know. This much I know. This is the drive, but in this where the data is, let's see. In my drive, my drive, we have G drive we have given. Then we have my drive also, and in that we have potato, and then we have the data sets here. You can see that trace train validation. Okay, so let's put the entire path. My drive I have to put, so slash my drive. Remember, this is Linux based, so we are giving the opposite slash, or the normal slash, and then we have potato, and have, let's say, train. Okay, let me run it and see if nothing will happen. Okay, I'm just telling which folder I want to connect to. So what I have to do is I have to read the folder and display the image, the data which is there, or the files which are there in this. So from images, this is images, I can call it in os dot list directory. Images in os dot list directory folder directory. It's giving me some errors. Images, that's okay. So, for images in, this is a loop. Okay, so this is not from, this can't be from. So for images in os.list directory folder dot directory, so what you are going to do is you are going to display the images, but images have folders also, so we just have to keep that in mind. So for image, since it gives me a subfolder, I can print that. Let me print images. First, let me run this, and you'll see that there are three folders here: potato late blight, potato healthy, and potato early blight. Okay, so but I have to actually display the entire thing, that is the files there. So let me put another loop. For loop we need another. For img, you can say in os dot list directory. Okay, we have already read this directory. So we have folder directory. This is the directory we have come to, that is up to uh, late blight. Let me open it. We're using train. Okay, so I'll just open train. Up till here we have come. Up to train, it is there in folder directory images. But now img will be having the file name. Okay, so images, sorry. So I have to get it from there. So I have to put a slash. Okay, put a slash plus images. Let's print now. Sorry, what is print img. Let's see what we get. Oh, sorry, it is img. Typing error. Be missing. See, all the images are displayed which are there in this folder. Okay, olive light. Add to healthy. All the images in the folder and the subfolder will be displayed, because what will happen when we run this code, this will return me a folder like this, potato late blight. Now potato late blight will be added to this folder now. So it is now reading, suppose first potato late blight and all the contents of that folder. All as it was having images, so I have put img and images. Otherwise, you can use any variable, and it can be displayed. Okay, so from here we have potato train test, and then train, and in train we have potato early blight, late blight, and healthy. Now, since we do not know, suppose we do not know the name of the folders, so we have designed this line of code. So I'm reading up to late blight, pass that to the existing address with slash and images. That is where what we get, this one, and then display the thing, the content. That is, we are adding the folder in it and displaying the data. So you can access your data, and it will be accessing all the folders. So if you want to compute, combine your data from different sources, you can do that. This is very important part, actually. It's very small but very important part, and most of the codes don't work, so just be careful about this. I have used and actually uh, changed the things and all to suit every data set. Okay, whatever the type, because in some cases we have train test and all. In some cases we have just one folder in which everything is listed, so just have to make few changes here. But this is either you use this loop only like this, or like this with the subfolders, and there are more subfolders, then you have to add one more sorry, you have to add one more loop to it. Okay, suppose folder, then subfolder, and subfolder, and then data. So you just have to manipulate. So once you have the data with you, then you can do whatever you want. So it can be image data, it can be any other data, it can be multiple CSV files. So if you want to have multiple CSV files, you want to read them, then you can use this also. And I'll show you something here. So I'll just I've read it, since I have already read this data. So I'm just going to put a code here, which I had to actually master a lot. It took me some time to write that code because things were not working. I just want to display all the images which are here in the folder. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a code here, and for that I need I've already imported the required folder, but I need IPython. Okay. So I have to from IPython display, I import image and display. Then OS I have already imported, and a list directory I have already imported. So I just need to have IPython. Okay. So from IPython, that is in it. So taking Python is P is capital. Sorry. It tells you. Yeah, it is there. IPython dot display and import image and display. This is interesting. Not many codes are working to display in Collab, although they may a single file can be displayed, but multiple images displaying is a challenge sometimes. Okay, so let's have it. OS I have already loaded, and folder we already have. Three, four. I'm just pasting actually. Three lines. The this thing, that is folder directory, then this loop images and img loop we already had. I'm just importing that, just pasting that. Then I have to keep this image. I have to get the image. So folder, just put it here. Here, actually, we need one more, and it may give me an error if I have something extra. So let's hope it doesn't. So now we have the entire folder, the path to this file, these files rather, one by one. Oh. So it is in test in let's say early blight and the file name. So this is till test. This is the folder subfolder, and this is the image which is there. That is the file which is there. So let's see now display. We have to say display image, sorry, image. Okay, and then we have to put the image here. That's it. And if everything goes right, then we'll be able to see all the images being displayed. Okay, so let me check the code again. Content, this folder is okay. Only issue comes with the display part, the image. We have im.show, image.show also. From IPython we just import image and then display, but it doesn't work on Collab. So just have to keep in mind. It took me some time to figure out what should be working, and this is what is working. And let's run it and see if this works. There can be a problem with the slash, but I think I have taken out. Yeah, that's fine, perfectly fine. You can see this. All the images will be displayed. It's very simple, small code. You can put any data and then display. You may have to change a little bit, but that's not a big deal. And now when you're saving also, when you're saving the file, you just give this content, name of the content folder, G drive, and the folder or the place you want to save slash lagake, and the file name, and your CSV file or any other file, any output file will be saved in the content, that is in on the Google Drive. So whatever you read, whatever you do, whatever you analyze, you can always save it at a safer place on a Google Drive, so that your data is safe. It is not lost. The moment you run the runtime again, connect again, it won't make much difference now, since it will be saved. And now you can see folders. The data is there. It is for test. You can have other also. And let me just copy this. Although it is not required, everything is not required, but let me put it. There are a lot of images. The 100 images are there in one folder, so every image is displayed now. It took me some time to figure out, so just wanted to share with you. I was doing some project, and in that I had to do this a lot. We have train healthy, we have put, and train, test, and valid. Everything is there, so you can put, you can change this. You just have to change the data set, sorry, the folder name, and the data set is already there, so valid is there. And let me see if valid works. If the path is okay, then everything will work. See, validation set. The leaves are really, really damaged. There's a lot of disease, visible disease on the leaves. Blights, they're called blights. Okay, this is okay. This is a healthy file. Sorry, leaf. These are all healthy leaves. But if you go up, you'll find more leaves which are actually not healthy. So you can read any data. So from the Google Drive and save also. So preferably what you are doing. So you should always mount the Google Drive as we have done already, like this. From google.collab, import a G drive, sorry, drive, and then drive.mount content a G drive, or if it is not G drive, then it would be some other name, but it will be normally G drive. Once it is mounted, then you can create the folder. You can import OS, then list directory, and just read the folders in a loop. Sorry, read the folder in a loop and get all the images. If you want to save, you can always save. Okay, so this is something I wanted to share with you, and this is something very important also, because you may be having a lot of data which you would be interested in. You can always save it also, and you can access it also. Displaying image in Collab is not that easy, as I found it. It took me some time to figure out the code. Although it looks very simple, not any rocket science, but we should know the right modules. Okay, if we know the right module, because I was trying with IPython, but IPython directly wasn't working, so I have to use display with it. Okay, so even if someone is having an issue, you can check it out. So you can display, you can try this out, and let me okay, I'll share it with you, but on your GitHub. So let me first put it there, and then I can share the link with you. So